I'm Andy Cabic from the group Vetiver. The scene really started that I felt like I was a part of started happening in like the early mid-2000s. I played in a band called Tussle, and it was instrumental, and songwriting wise it was like a democracy. It was like everybody pitched in together. But we would play with Pink and Brown, early John Dwyer project, who went on to do the OCs and so forth. And it was a great scene full of, you know, kind of post-punky kind of bands and stuff. And then eventually I started writing more singer-songwriter-y stuff, and Vetiver came out of that. I worked for a used bookstore for a while. I was a book buyer at Aardvark Books, and my coworker there would wear Vetiver, and it was a real striking scent. I needed a band name at the time. I've come to really appreciate that somehow I chose that name, or it chose me in a weird way, because it's got healing, sort of natural qualities to it that are descriptive of the way a lot of times my music is described, which is sort of to say grounding, calming, things like that. I'm doing it again with Tom Monahan, who I've done all of my records with. The last record, Tom and I did a lot of demoing and a lot of work on it on my own, and then with Tom and the two of us together fleshed out things, and then we booked some time in a studio with some great players and had them play into the things we had already kind of taken as far as we could. An approach that's more like what I did a little earlier, which is to have everybody on the floor at the same time playing live. I taught myself how to play guitar, so it's too hard to learn how to play other people's songs, so you just eventually play what you can and make your own songs. So my lack of lessons taught me how to be a songwriter, I think. But you want to be like the people you're listening to. When I was growing up, I was really into bands like REM and The Replacements. I was raised on MTV and 120 Minutes, and going to Tower Records and Pulse magazine. And the one that sticks out for me was playing Meriwether Post Pavilion, because I grew up outside. My dad lived in Columbia, Maryland, and so my first concert experience ever was at Meriwether Post Pavilion. I saw Kool and the Gang. So I would go stand outside the fence of that place and like eavesdrop on shows and things like that. My exposure to that just came from the few times I visited Japan, and much as I go to record stores all the time, and one of the first times I was there, I went to a tower, which was still around there, and in Japan you could scan barcodes and listen to whatever was there. So I spent a couple hours there just grabbing CDs and scanning them and listening to them until I found a dozen that I was into. That's where I discovered Sugar Babe and Tatsuro Yamashita, and all these people went on to do different projects and produce other things, and I look forward to other people getting to hear this stuff, because it's not really easy to find. Well, I like to go on hikes, I like to garden, I like to read, I like to cook. The give and take of working with someone else is you feel the enthusiasm, you share it with someone else more immediately, and that can really push things further faster. When you're by yourself, it's like you can get a little lost and go down cul-de-sacs that might be, not get you to a good finished song right away. If you do it and persevere and everything comes to a level that advances your art, then it's really meaningful. Currently I'm listening to a lot of easy listening and dollar bin records, like a lot of Jackie Gleason, a lot of bossa nova, a lot of stuff that sounds living stereo records that sound really good on my stereo. Well, I'd say spend as much time listening as you are working on things. It's very important to listen carefully and broadly, and to be disciplined in your writing, like write every day and with others and in different situations, and as varied as you can, and just keep moving on to the next thing, and also really work to complete what you start.